And we welcome you back. Bottom 5 of this opening game of the season for the softball team. Finally got some video for you guys. We apologize for the technical difficulties. The stream did go down overall for a few innings, but we're back now. Score 3-2. The Eagles trail. They put up a couple in the bottom of the 4th. So here they are in the 5th, trying to finally climb the rest of that mountain. Allison Rodriguez fouls one right back towards us. Will be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in this 5th. Rodriguez, Campbell, and Childs. One, and that one is inside for ball 2. Darian Ingram is still on the mound for Santa Fe, and as far as we know right now, Sidney Ray will still be pitching for the Eagles in the next inning. Here's the 2-1 to Rodriguez, and that one is taken high for ball 3. Rodriguez would be the tying run if she was to reach base. First 7-inning game of this doubleheader. There's a cut and a miss on 3-1, and that'll take the count full. So far for Santa Fe, 3 runs on 5 hits. For the Eagles, 2 runs on 3 hits. Here's the payoff to Rodriguez. Puts it on the ground. Second baseman Layden has it, and her throw to first is in time for out number 1. It goes Lebeda to Zingaro for the put out there. And that 4-3 out recorded with 1 out and the bases empty will bring up the 9-hitter Ellie Campbell. First pitch to Campbell, taken over the plate for strike 1. Now this offering from Ingram, and that one is low. So for the remainder of this game, I do not believe we're on YouTube. We are live on TCCEagles.com, and we're going to do a separate broadcast for Game 2 of this doubleheader, and that one should be all good to go on YouTube. On TCCEagles.com. Video, audio, all the works for Game 2. There's a swing and a miss from Campbell, and that'll take it to 1-2. So we're glad to finally have you all the way with us here on opening day for the softball squad. Here's a 1-2. Swung on and missed by Campbell, and she's out on strikes. Swung under the fastball high there, and with 2 outs and the bases clear, the lineup will turn over to Mackenzie Childs. Childs steps in on the left side. One of 2 lefty bats in this lineup, Childs and Knowles. Matches up lefty on lefty with the starter Darian Ingram. First pitch to Childs is taken for strike 1. Seven outs left to work with for the Eagles. They trail only by a run. They took a 3-0 deficit in the top of the 2nd, but then responded with 2 in the 4th. There's another called strike, and it's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch, fouled. Just to the left of the glove of third baseman Story Geibig. And we'll do it again at 0-2. Ingram trying to get out of the inning, and another foul down the left side. Behind the Eagle dugout. Zanishka Ponte getting loose on deck if Childs would be to reach. 0-2 count and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the pitch, and that one is fouled again down the third base line. So Childs, a good job of staying alive in an 0-2 hole. Ingram rubbing some dirt on that softball. She looks for the sign. Now another 0-2. And taken. Close one there for ball 1. Now the 1-2. That one's put into play, and that one is going to get down for a base hit. So all those fouls down the left side, and eventually she keeps one fair for a 2-out single. Tying run is at first base for Anishka Aponte. Ponte flew out to center. Her first time. First pitch from Ingram is high. Runner goes. Throw to second, and that was offline. So a stolen base for Childs puts the tying run in scoring position. A lot of pitches high from Ingram, so trying to time one up there, and not a fantastic throw from Brooke Hackham. That allows Childs to get to second base. The 1-0, and that one is put up in the air, chased by the center fielder Larkin. She can't get it. She gets past the outstretched glove. The runner comes in, and an RBI double standing up from Anishka Aponte, and we're all tied up at 3. One of the first extra base hits of this game. Larkin was chasing it in center, right center. Didn't stick the mitt all the way out, and it falls harmlessly to the grass out there. With 2 outs, Childs was running from contact at second base. So that steal in part helped that run to score. So now in a 3-3 tie, the Eagles now have the go-ahead run in scoring position. Brittany Michael, the first baseman, will try and drive her in. First pitch to Michael is high, ball 1. Now the 1-0. That pitch called a strike over the plate. Count evens now 1-1. Michael as well flew out to center in her first try. That was a 1-2-3 inning in the first. Darian Ingram actually did get pretty settled into this ball game, but she's given up 2 runs in the last inning and 1 run here with a chance for the Eagles to add on more, as there's a cut and a miss under a fastball, and that'll bring it to 1-2. Ingram now 1 strike away from getting out of this inning and keeping it tied. Now the 1-2, and that's a pitch high. Aponte thought about going, but scampers back over to second. No need to have that third out thrown on the bases. Michael has the count even at 2-2. She's trying to give the Eagles their first lead of the season. Here's the pitch from Ingram, and that one is just foul. down the third base side. That was a close one, but we'll do it again. Ingram drops the softball there. Now picks it back up. No harm done. Another 2-2. And that one is put into play, and that one is going to get past the third baseman. It's off her glove. The runner is going to come in to score, and the ball gets away from the catcher. So the Eagles, their first lead of the season. Aponte coming around from second, gets all the way home. Just a dribbler by Michael that gets through the left side of the infield. It was juggled around, and the throw home allows Michael to get all the way down to second base. So I'm actually going to call that an RBI single for Michael. And gets to second on the throw, I believe, from Story Guyber, because that one gets through the right side of the infield. Another run is going to come home. The throw is cut off and not in time. Eagles now with a 5-3 advantage. So some really clutch hitting for TCC here in the fifth. Raven Little with an RBI single. So after the inning started with 2 consecutive outs, Eagles take 2 outs, bases empty, cash in 4 consecutive hits, and it's been good for 3 runs. Now that'll bring up the shortstop, Shea Ortiz. First pitch to her is outside for ball 1. So the Eagles come all the way back. They lead 5-3 here in the bottom of the 5th. So now their pitcher has 6 outs left to get and try and get a victory in this first game of the season. That one fouled away and out of play by Ortiz, and that'll bring the count to a ball and a strike. Now the 1-1 from Ingram, and that one is popped straight up. Outfielders converge. Is going to be Larkin, the center fielder, under it for out number 3. So the Saints eventually do retire the side, but not before the Eagles put up 3 runs and take the lead. We're glad to have you with us now in audio and video. You're watching TCC Softball on tcceagles.com. New pitcher out for the Eagles. Sydney Ray's day is done. And Brittany Michael, who was playing first base and drove in a run, is now on the mound. Her first pitch is in for strike one. So the DP, Kaylin James, is going to go over now to first base to replace Michael, who was there. Sydney Ray's line finalizes at 5 innings, 3 runs on 5 hits. This one to Hickox. It's in for a strike. Top of the 6th here. Eagles with 6 outs left to get as they're nursing this 5-3 lead. That one is put into play, and it's going to get past the center fielder, Mackenzie Childs, and roll all the way to the wall. Runner is going to go to second base, and she's in there safe. So leadoff double by Abriana Hickox, and that'll set things up for Madison Dixon. Scratch that, my apologies. It was actually Madison Dixon who led things off with a double. And now this brings up the second baseman, Morgan Lebeda, so apologies for the confusion there. Brings the tying run to the plate. As one of the Santa Fe coaches is going to go over to talk things out with home plate umpire, and they're going to bring in a pinch runner for the DP Dixon. Kaylee Poole will be the pinch runner over at second. So I believe Madison Dixon's day is done. Had a couple of at-bats. So Poole running at second. Lebeda at the plate, fouls that one right over the top of the Eagles dugout down the first base line. Lebeda had a single in the second inning. That one was against Sydney Ray. She's facing now Brittany Michael, who's been playing first base for most of this game. That one is fouled straight back over the press box. No balls, 2 strikes is the count to Lebeda. And a cut and a miss for Lebeda there. She's out on strikes. So a big out there. Runner stays at second, and that'll bring up the catcher, Brooke Hackham. Going to be another substitution for Santa Fe. It's going to be Addison Joseph to hit for Brooke Hackham. First pitch to her is in there for strike one. Now the 0-1, slapped into play, gets past the diving glove of Little. Throw to first, and Joseph is going to be in there safe. So the runner stays at second base. It was Raven Little at third, made a nice diving play, but couldn't keep the softball in the mitt. Gathers it, and the throw over to first was not in time. So first and second, now with 1 out after the infield single by Addison Joseph, I'll call it. Hard to give an error on a diving attempt like that. And now it'll be Riley Schneider, a pitch well inside. Glove nicely by Ellie Campbell to keep it from going back to the backstop. But the field here is a relatively short backstop, so even if it got back there, I don't know if the runner from second would have been able to advance. Here's the 1-0. That one is outside, and another nice block by Campbell. So the Eagles backstop trying to keep everything in play here. It's Poole running at second, Joseph at first. Tying run now is at first base. It's 5-3 lead for the Eagles. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Schneider. That one's a called strike. Runner scampers back into second base. Now the 2-1 pitch here to Schneider. Tries to lay the bunt down, and it goes foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. So in all likelihood, takes the sacrifice bunt out of play. Barring any kind of double play, it will be the leadoff hitter, Olivia Larkin, to come up next. Michael looking forward at the put-away pitch. Here's the 2-2. Outside. So a nice take there by Schneider, and she's worked the count full. A walk would load the bases. A strikeout would go a long way in getting you out of this inning. The payoff from Michael is outside, ball 4. So a walk by the 9-hitter Schneider does load the bases, gets the tying run in scoring position, the go-ahead run at first base. And now Michael's really got herself in some trouble here as the lineup turns back over to the top. So Poole over to third. Joseph over to second. On the walk by Schneider, now it'll be Olivia Larkin. First pitch from Michael. Outside, ball 1. Saw her kind of lean into that pitch, just trying to put it in play. With the speedy Poole running at third, just about any contact made would bring this deficit to 1. Here's the 1-0 for Michael. That one is outside, and gloved nicely again by Ellie Campbell. If that one had gotten away, I'm pretty certain that would have allowed a run to score. So the Eagles backstop coming up huge here in the top of the 6th. 2-0 pitch. Charging it again, and a called strike there. Says the home plate umpire. 2 balls and a strike now the count. This one from Michael. Just off the plate again. Now that'll be 3-1. There's some trouble here. Another ball would be a bases loaded walk and would allow a run to score. But with 2 runners in scoring position, you give her anything to hit, she could tie this game up. The 3-1. Called a strike. So now Brittany Michael has got a full count to the leadoff hitter, Olivia Larkin. And if there was ever a time where you needed a strikeout, it would be right here and right now. The payoff. Swung on and missed for strike 3, and there's that strikeout they needed. Olivia Larkin retreats to the dugout, and now with 2 outs and the bases remaining full, it'll be the shortstop, Ayana Woodard. So Brittany Michael coming up huge there, but 1 out still left to get. Righty on righty matchup here, and there's a fastball called over the plate for a strike. So definitely want to get ahead of this hitter as best you can. Now the 0-1. Taken outside, gloved nicely by Campbell. And how many times can we say that in an inning? She's been huge. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. She went through. No appeal necessary down the third base line. And now Michael, 1 strike away from getting out of this inning scoreless. Can she do it? The 1-2 to Woodard. Taken off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes goes the count. So a gutsy take there by Woodard, and she stays alive. Now here's a 2-2 pitch. Fouled right against the screen in front of the Eagles dugout. So we'll do it again at 2-2. Michael looking for that final put-away pitch. Can she get it? Yes, she can! Ayana Woodard is rung up looking. And so, trailing by a couple of runs, Santa Fe leaves them loaded. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th. You're watching TCC Softball on tcceagles.com. And now Santa Fe goes to the bullpen as well. Darian Ingram's day is done. 5 innings, 5 runs allowed on 6 hits. And then I'll make way for Kaylee Arroyo. It'll be Knowles, James, and Rodriguez here in the 6th as the Eagles look to provide a little insurance. 3 outs left to get, protecting this 2-run lead. So it'll be the bottom of the order to try and extend that out. Lefty on right here to start things out. First pitch taken outside for ball 1 to Tristan Knowles. That one swung on and fouled right back to the catcher. And it is Addison Joseph who pinch hit for Brooke Hackham, who was the catcher previously, so a straight up switch there. One ball and 1 strike to count here to Knowles. And here it is from Arroyo. Slapped on the ground right to the second baseman, Lebeda. Her throw to first is well in time to Zingaro for out number 1. Some members of the TCC basketball team checking in the crowd here on opening day. That's always nice to see. We had head coach Rick Cabrera here in the press box a few moments ago. Some of the players here to support their fellow Eagles. First pitch there, James is high for ball one. Caitlin James was the DP, but came in to play first base after Michael moved from there to the pitcher spot. The 1-0 swung on, fouled right in front of the Eagle dugout. TCC baseball in action just to my right. Looks like we've got a 1-1 score in the fourth inning, I believe, against Abraham Baldwin Agricultural. They were defeated 7-0 by Hillsborough, a team that the baseball team defeated twice on Sunday. There's a base hit for Kaylin James, and she's got herself aboard. Nice single right up the middle, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Allison Rodriguez. The baseball team is 5-0 this season. A win against Abraham Baldwin would keep that going. That game started at 4 o'clock, and they'll be back in action again tomorrow, again at 4, Wednesday afternoon at 4 against the College of Central Florida. We'll have that one for you. Obviously, on opening day, softball gets precedent. I'm glad we could bring these games to you. Eagles with a 5-3 advantage here in game one, and the second leg of a doubleheader will be getting underway shortly after the conclusion of this one on a separate broadcast. We hope you stick around with us for that. One on and one out here for Allison Rodriguez. The first pitch from Arroyo is taken high and outside for ball one. This offering is in there for a strike, I believe. They're actually going to call that a ball. Catcher thought about throwing down at first, but decided against it. Now the 2-0 is high. No, called a strike. So last two couple of pitches had me looking the other way. One that could have been a strike, called a ball. One that could have been a ball, called a strike. So either way, I guess we're now even Steven. 2-1 to Allison Rodriguez. And that one is down the third baseline off the glove of Geibig. Runners each go 90 feet. No, they're going to say it rolled foul. So it was off the glove of Story Geibig before the ball had reached the third base bag. So because of that, it ended up in foul territory. But it was right down the line. So we'll do it again at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch is high. The payoff is popped straight up in the air. Geiberg, the third baseman, chasing it, and she makes the catch right along the wall. Runner going to second base. The throw in time, and the tag applied. So a pop-out, throw-em-out double play will end the inning for the Eagles. They have 3 outs left to get, protecting a 2-run lead when we return. And to try and close things out for the final 3 outs of this game, it will be Brittany Michael staying on to pitch. Certainly an entertaining inning in the 6th. Would love a bit more easy one here. Big cut and a miss to start things off for Story Geibig. It was a leadoff double for Dixon. A single and a walk to load the bases with only 1 out. And the Michael struck out the 1 and 2 hitters. There's another cut and miss from Geibig. So the strikeout, to say the very least, has been huge for Brittany Michael. She followed Sydney Ray, who went 5 innings, 3 runs on 5 hits. Now the 0-2 is maybe over the plate, but not able to be collected by Ellie Campbell. So the umpire hesitant to call it a strike. 1 and 2 now. Now the 1-2 offering. Put straight up in the air. The shortstop, Shea Ortiz, is under it, and she makes the catch for out number 1. 2 outs left to get for the Eagles. One out and the base is clear. It'll be the first baseman, Keely Zingaro, righty on right. The first one from Michael is over for a strike. Infield playing Zingaro pretty deep. She was hit by a pitch in the first, part of a sequence where 3 consecutive Saints batters were hit in a row. Thankfully, Sydney Ray was able to settle down and get it figured out as there's a pitch taken on the outside to level the count at a ball and a strike. The 1-1 pitch, and that one is grounded foul down the left side. So another 1-2 count to open up this 7th. Michael looking for the put away. Here it is. Jammed, fouled. First baseman was chasing it, Kalen James, but can't get there in time. So we'll stay at 1 and 2. Santa Fe third base coach comes over to talk to Zingaro. Maybe what she should be looking for on 1 and 2 here from Brittany Michael. Michael with 3 strikeouts in her 1 inning of work so far. 1 1/3. Now hoping to make it 1 2/3. The 1-2 fouled back quickly against the screen right in front of us. So Zingaro staying alive here. Another 1-2. Low, blocked by Campbell. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here to Zingaro. Here it is. Jammed, pop straight up to the shortstop Ortiz, who's chasing it out into shallow right, left center. And she can't find the ball into the mitt. And so, on what I can safely score an E6, allows Keely Zingaro to head to first base. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate in Abriana Hickox. So J.J. Ortiz, who had kind of a similar play, certainly more routine by Geibig to start the inning. She made the catch there. That one initially straight up, but then she kind of had to retreat running back into shallow left center and not able to complete the plays. That one is shot up, but foul down the left line. The 1-1 pitch. And that one is dribbled into play. Second baseman picks it up. She's tripped by the runner. And so they get the lead runner there. Zingaro thrown out at second. Goes, I believe, 4-6 on the putout. On the fielder's choice for Mabrion Hickox. But now, the Santa Fe Saints are down to their final breath of this opening game. A runner on with 2 outs, and it'll be Madison Dixon. Shows bunt, but pulls back, and first pitch taken low. So as the DP, they were able to pinch run for her in the 6th, and she can come back out to hit in the 7th. Dixon had a leadoff double to start things off in the 6th. Shows bunt again and pulls back once more. Pitch low, blocked well by Campbell, but it's a 2-0 count. Here to the DP, Dixon. Looks like they've kind of got the same play on. Show bunt and pull back. They run it again, and that one is grounded softly and foul right in front of third base. Trying to lay a bunt down your final out, I think, would be a little curious. So if anything, maybe just trying to shake things up for the pitcher, Michael. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and missed. And now Brittany Michael and her Eagles are 1 strike away from winning this opening game of the 2022 season. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on in a 5-3 game in the top of the 7th. Michael comes set. Here she is. Ball put up in the air, chased by the center fielder, Child. She's going to make a running catch to retire the side and end the game. So, in game number 1, the Eagles get win number 1 as they take the opening leg of this doubleheader against the Santa Fe Saints by a score of 5-3. Santa Fe put up 3 runs in the early going. Eagles respond with 2 in the 4th and climb the rest of the mountain in the 5th with a nice 3-spot put up. Glad we could bring the end of this game to you. We apologize for some of the technical difficulties that we had early on in the game. So as the dugout clears and they meet in left field to take a picture and celebrate this victory, and we put a cap on this broadcast for the Santa Fe Saints in Game 1. They had 3 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. And for the TCC Eagles, 5 runs on 7 hits. No errors for them defensively. I have one in my book, not one showing on the scoreboard right now. So that's going to do it for this Game 1. We'll return on a separate broadcast. It'll be on YouTube and TCCEagles.com as well. We'll hope you'll follow us along for that game as well. So for everyone watching, I'm William Haynes, Jack Oliaro helping run the broadcast. You've been watching TCC Softball on TCCEagles.com.
Tallahassee Community College has been named as one of the top 10 community colleges in the nation. The Aspen Institute